So, how many people in here know what an oil pattern is? That's what I thought. Nobody. So, today I'm going to talk a little bit about competitive bowling and what it is, and what an oil pattern is, and what the different kind of balls are, because there's a bunch of different kind of balls, and what kind of oil patterns there are. So, first we're going to start off with the plastic ball. Today, that would be used for like a spare. That's pretty much it, just a spare. This ball was made was used mostly in the late 60s, mid 70s, and it was the main ball. Like, it was the newest technology then, and now all we use it for is spares. And it has like a weight block in there, but it doesn't do much. But we'll get into that in a minute. The urethane ball. Today, the urethane ball is only used on dry conditions, and it also is used for spares. I use one for spares. And it was used very popularly in the late 70s to mid 80s. And now we have the grand jewel, the reactive resin. The reactive resin ball is the newest technology came out in the late 80s. Started out with the yellow dot. It was also called the bleeder. And it is the highest tech bowling ball you can get, because you can't see it, but this is not smooth. It's smoother to you, but if you were to take not magnifying glass, but a microscope and look, it has like tire treads on it. See, it like, that's where you get the curve from. But the other thing that you get the curve from is the core. Now, the primitive cores that came out in the 80s are the mushroom cores. The mushroom core is very simple. It goes straight and it gives a little hook at the end. And that's what people were looking for, and that's what you'll see if you look at any bowling from the early 90s and such. But they came out with the block cores, and these are like the engines of the ball, and they'll get it going. And you'll start to see the transformation of the ball movement from going like that to start to come from the side and make it all the way back around, and you'll see a really dramatic curve with that kind of ball. And that's what the modern core looks like today. You got your weight block down here, and then you got the engine block right there, and that's what makes it curve. The weight block just gives it the weight to the ball, and that'll come in various sizes based on how heavy you want your ball. The heaviest ball you can get, 16 pounds. The lightest ball you can get is 6 pounds, but in reactive resin, the lightest ball you can get is 12 pounds. So what is an oil pattern? If you look at the picture I have here, this is what you would bowl on if you went into a bowling alley right now and you got your plastic ball and your shoes. You would bowl on this. Now this image is showing you what the oil looks like. It's oiled out to about 40 feet, and this is light oil where you get most traction, and this is heavy oil where you just kind of slip and slide around. So the objective with the reactive resin ball is to get it out here. You want it out here, that's where you get your curve. Fancy players, I'll throw it from here and come all the way around and strike in there. Now, the difference between that shot and what this is what makes it competitive is the sports shot. The sports shot is extremely difficult. I bowl on a Tuesday night league where we bowl on sports shots, and it is not fun. Because on this picture, you get it anywhere in here, you're good to go. That's it. That's a strike. You're in. On this one, this is called the shark pattern. This is a professional pattern. If you get it here, you're good. You get it there, you're bad. And if you get it there, you're worse. And so you have to hit a single board or two, and if you get off by just like a quarter of an inch, it's gone. That's not a strike. You just threw a split, and it's no fun. Splits aren't fun. There's all sorts of different oil patterns. There's PBA patterns. There's WTBA patterns, which are bowled in the Olympics. Well, they don't have Olympic bowling, but it's the equivalent. And then there are Kegel patterns, which are made in Lakeland. So those are cool, and they're used all over the place in youth tournaments. This is the U.S. Open pattern. And if you looked at all the other patterns, you kind of see where you could throw the ball. That one, it's kind of difficult because it's heavily oiled in the front and you don't get any traction to the back. And it's one of the hardest patterns you can bowl on, and it is it's definitely a challenge. So to conclude, we talked about different kind of bowling balls, what their covers are, what kind of weight block / core they use. We talked about how to play an oil pattern and what the different oil patterns are and what they look like. And thank you very much.